Good afternoon guys, welcome to Kerbal Space Program tutorial thrust to weight ratio, something that I get chucked around a couple of times and I get asked at uni or at work and they're like, what the hell's thrust to weight ratio? So I'm going to make a little video on it. Basically, thrust to weight ratio is Newton's second law. Yeah, Newton's second law, where if an object has a motion up, like a thrust of 1 or greater, then it'll beat Earth's gravity, so it'll move. If it's less than 1, then the object won't move. So if you want to work out your thrust to weight ratio, there is a little formula for that, and I'll show you that in a sec. But before we do, we need to think about sort of what stage you're working it out for. So we're going to do it for our first stage, which is these 3 rocket boosters. The SRB KD25K Kitbat solid fuel boosters, which are these, and then you see at the side, you got like sort of, yeah, so you probably see it like this, and then if you click right mouse button, you get this little window pops up, and it gives you thrust ASL, thrust vacuum, and engine specific impulse. Just ignore the specific impulse for now. Basically, this stage is going to be an atmospheric stage, so the value we're looking for is thrust ASL, and I mean, it's just a value, but it's in kilonewtons basically, but it's 599.474 kilonewtons, or, I mean, we'll just call it 599. That's per engine, and we've got 3 of them. So, first of all, when you times 599 times 3 is 1,797 kilonewtons. That's the total thrust of these combined. Now, if I flip to, and this is the formula. FR is the thrust, which we've just done in kilonewtons, divided by mass times gravity. Mass in tons, and gravity is the acceleration due to gravity, so it's 9.81 meters a second. Yeah, 9.81. So if we just do a little sum at the bottom, so the kilonewtons for the 3 engines is 1,797. This is going to look like really kind of a bit sort of trousers and paint, but just bear with me. 1797 divide, and if you're looking for the tons, if you click on this little spanner thing down here, you get this engineer's report, gives you mass in tons is 120.8. Metric tons as well, by the way. I would envisage it be metric tons. 120.8. Let me just make that point a bit. There we go. Times 9.81 meters per second. Oh, meters per second is a -1. It doesn't matter about that bit anyway. It's just 9.81. That's all you're timesing it by. So 1797 over 120.8 times 9.81 equals 1. Yeah, it's quite obviously it's got a lot of decimal places, but equals 1.5. It's close as. It's pretty much 1.5. So we are greater than 1. So this rocket will lift off, not particularly fast, but it has enough thrust to weight ratio to beat the gravity of Kerbin, and that's what you need. Obviously, if you've got more kilonewtons and less weight, then you'll have a much better thrust to weight ratio, and vice versa. If you've got more weight and less kilonewtons, then you'll be probably less than 1, and therefore you won't have enough thrust to beat the gravity of Kerbin. Or let's just say, I mean, the same thing applies to Earth sciences as well. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. Hope that's kind of made you sort of basically aware of what it is. Just a quick one on the end of that. If you're working out for a vacuum, then you have the vacuum value, which is 670 kilonewtons. So that was the value you would use if you were working out in a vacuum. If you have a stage that's going from atmosphere to a vacuum, then you need to sort of account for that either side. Your thrust to weight ratio will change quite dramatically as you sort of cross that threshold. Obviously, if you've got more than one of the same engine, then you need to times that together. That value is only for a single engine, so don't if you did 599, if you just did 599 over 120.8 times 981, you wouldn't be more than one, it'd be like 0.5 maybe, somewhere around there. So basically, one of them engines is not enough to lift all of the 120 tons. Another thing to consider is when you're ascending, you're burning fuel, and fuel is mass, so you're actually getting lighter as you're going up. So as this stage is climbing and you're still burning with this stage, the kilonewton thrust won't change, but your weight will get less, so your thrust to weight ratio will improve as you ascend until you eventually expend that stage. So you need to account for that as well, but it's better to do that in specific impulse than it is thrust to weight ratio. But thrust to weight ratio is just something so that you know you're going to get off the ground, pretty much. But we'll do specific impulse in a different video, I won't go into that now. But that's the formula for it, so if you need to use that, then, you know, pause it, write that down, whatever. Mass, M is mass, G is like gravity, acceleration to gravity basically, which in Kerbal Space Program is the same as Earth, which is 9.81 meters per second. And the mass is in tons, even though usually in the real world you tend to work things out with kilograms. In this, it works with tons. In fact, you probably do it with tons. I don't know, I don't really do it every day in the real world, but usually if you're working out like kinetic energy or potential energy, you use mass in kilograms, not mass in tons. But anyway, hope that has cleared it up for you, and you can sort of do that now. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, then hit the like button. If you want to see some more of my other KSP videos and any other series I've got going, drop a subscribe. And yeah, thank you for stopping by.